You're listening to The Pete Shepard Show.
Hey there, good morning everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pete Shepard Show. I wish I could say it was a really good morning, but it's a pretty shitty morning here in Florida for many of us. But I'm going to be on for just a little bit this morning, trying to get you through, trying to update everybody on what's going on around the state here. I had a big show lined up for you today. Was going to recap the whole weekend, all this stuff. We had Ernie DiGregorio was set to join me at 8:30 this morning, and John Serenides, owner and editor of the New England Football Journal, one of the best football minds on the planet. Great guy with NFL and college, but we're going to have to postpone them tomorrow. Angel Martinez, our exec producer, co-host extraordinaire, cannot be with us today because his Wi-Fi and power is out and flickering and all that stuff. Hurricane Debbie really has done a number on all of us here in Southwest Florida. I apologize. The other thing, too, on my Twitter account, and thanks to everybody for checking out the show on the video platform. For now, anyway, on Twitter X, you can follow me at pchef326, except for today on my Twitter account. The other Twitter accounts are fine. Mine, for some reason, they took the blue check mark away, and I have no idea why. No idea. But so you can't follow me. You can follow me on my Facebook page, also at sr1029thegame.com. Ion TV, we're powered by them. CSN Florida, Rumble, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. 727-858-6650 is the number to text. But even that, because Angel cannot be with me today, I'm not sure even the text number is going to work. But so the other social media platforms on Facebook and others, I should be able to see up here. So it has been an absolute mess down here in Southwest Florida and the whole state now due to what was Tropical Storm Debbie, now is Hurricane Debbie, a Cat 1. This whole weekend down here was an absolute washout for all of us here in Southwest Florida. I got my Fort Myers Beach hat on today. I tried to reach out to a couple of friends who work on Fort Myers Beach yesterday. They did not get back to me. And I can't without Angel, I can't punch up any videos here either today. So you're just going to get me for a few minutes, trying to update everybody. Before we get into what happened over the weekend, I do want to tell you right now, as I'm looking on my Twitter page, in the Tampa area, and I'm sure Ion TV would have this as well, all lanes on I-75 southbound are closed at Fowler Avenue. That's because an 18-wheeler went into the Tampa Bypass Canal. And I'm looking at the video now. It's awful. Crews are working to rescue the driver. Unbelievable. And I'm monitoring here. I am monitoring. I was monitoring Wink News. I thought I was, but they have. Let me see. Let me see. I'll go to NBC2. Our friend. I want to first and foremost to all the meteorologists around here in Southwest Florida, and I'm sure up in Tampa, and up now with our friends at the University of Florida in Gainesville and Tallahassee at Florida State. And I just bring up because that's where the Panhandle is really, really getting crushed right now by Hurricane Debbie, and it's being compared to what was Amelia last year at that time up in that area. I'm looking at some of the footage of our friends at NBC2, and it was awful. We just had here in Fort Myers, and only by the grace of God, where Peanut Gallery and I live, this part of Fort Myers, which if you know Fort Myers, we are in the Gateway area, which is about 2.5 miles away from JetBlue, where the Red Sox have spring training. So there's Gateway community and there's Timber Creek where we live. And only by the grace of God we had a lot of rain and a lot of wind, but I haven't seen any significant damage. We did not have, incredibly, a lot of thunder or lightning. Now, we had our share of tornado warnings yesterday. I'm sure everybody's phones were going off here in the state of Florida all day and all night. I know mine was. Collier County, Marco Island, Naples, down that way, they got nailed. Where we are in Fort Myers, it wasn't too bad. Our streets aren't flooded, not that I can see anyway. But you go like 5 miles north of us to downtown Fort Myers, where the Luminary Hotel is, that area. They are underwater. It is crazy down by the bridge, which takes you to Cape Coral. A bunch of Cape Coral is underwater. as well. I saw some footage this morning that was incredibly disturbing. And my friends on Fort Myers Beach, those who work at Cabanas and those at Diamond Head in general, and all those wonderful, restaurants and bars in that area, it was completely Estero Boulevard, which is, and people, if you don't, I mean, Fort Myers Beach is an island. I mean, it's referred to as the island. And it is just, it was all underwater yesterday. It felt horrible. It's just doing such a great job of rebuilding everything. And the flooding was absolutely ridiculous. Good morning, Rick. Rick says, doing okay here in Tampa. Tornado watch still happening along with flash flood warnings. Yeah, Rick. And as I said, it's 75 right now up in that way. Southbound closed at Fowler Avenue. An 18-wheeler went into the Tampa bypass canal. Crews are working to rescue the driver. That was a little while ago. Hopefully maybe that's been cleaned up right now. And again, I'm trying to as far as power outages go, again, where I am in Fort Myers, not too bad, which is why I'm able to do this. And Tampa, this thing, Hurricane Debbie, uh, hit Tampa later than us. It was late last night, and they really got whacked up there. Uh, and it's still heading, north of there now, but they're still getting a big time backlash. And as I said, the Panhandle up in Florida, and looking at yeah, I'm looking at it's Gainesville and Tallahassee and the whole Panhandle, all the beaches. You're really getting hit hard right now. So everybody, if you even have power, just stay safe. And my suggestion is, if you have, I think Matt Devitt for Wink News down here, who is just a tremendous meteorologist. They've all been great down here. NBC2, CBS Wink, Fox 4 and who am I missing? ABC7, locally down here in Fort Myers. They have all been absolutely terrific. Um, they're all great. I love Matt Devitt at Wink News because when I first moved down here, he's one that I turned into. I've had relationships with NBC2 as well and ABC7. Great. Fox 4, all doing a great job as well. But I think that you all did such an unbelievable job yesterday. I know Wink News's parking lot got flooded again. You might remember last year, or for Hurricane Irma, that they got totally flooded into the newsroom and everything else, and they did make it out. I actually thought they changed studios, but they haven't. Anyway, so like I said, I was going to have a great show lined up for you today with basketball legend Ernie DiGregorio and then John Serenides, who's just from the New England Football Journal, owner and editor of the New England Football Journal, covers all things NFL and Division I football. Was going to have him on, but we're going to postpone those interviews until tomorrow. I just want to make sure that everybody is safe, and if wherever you are, and there's tornado warnings and everything else. If you can, keep your TV on with your local weatherman, and that's the advice Matt Devitt gave anyway. And if you have to go into another room, at least you'll be able to hear. Or if you take your phone with you, obviously, if you have most cable systems, you can get on your phone. I have YouTube TV, so I can take it anywhere. And again, I'm just trying to get some more local news. A lot of them have switched to national programming down here because down here in Southwest Florida, mostly the storm has passed us, even though we're still seeing residual big time cells still. Like I said, about 20 minutes ago, it came down here as hard as it has all weekend. It was a total washout. Peanut Gallery and I did nothing but watch TV and eat and drink. The only thing positive that came out of this whole entire weekend is that I baked I'm not a big baker, I love to cook and all that stuff. I take it very seriously. But I did bake one of the best yellow cakes of all time. I will say that. Sugar-free as well. You'd never know it. Frosting and all. Sugar-free frosting, sugar-free yellow cake. Came out absolutely moist. Everybody loves that word, moist. And it came out lovely. Did that yesterday and had a nice steak dinner last night as well, but that's the only other thing. You couldn't do anything. I mean, everywhere there were tornado warnings up the ass every minute. There was massive rain. and wind, even obviously where I am, but it was worse in other places. Uh, very, very lucky, as I said, we're in the Gateway area where I am. It was very, very, very lucky. Very little flooding that I have seen. Now, 2 miles away could be very different. I'm just saying in my general community. But I hopefully wherever you are okay. Trying to go by Ion TB and see what they have going on over here. Um, as far as okay, well, as of 9 hours ago, I'm looking on INTB. The Skyway Bridge we talk about a lot. Um, that was closed due to high winds. That's use an alternate route. I don't know if that is still going on right now. Maybe everybody, Rick, can fill us in. Um, I'm looking at significant flooding in Tampa along Belcher Road, an apartment complex at East Bay Drive. Horrible. Again, I can't punch up any videos or sound, but without Angel being here, and he cannot be with us today because there's a lack of Wi-Fi and power fluctuations where he is in Tampa. Still going on over there. And I'm looking at an Ion TV right now on the Twitter page, and it is just absolutely brutal. Rick says planes were actually flying yesterday, although there were some cancellations and plenty of delays. It's a great point, Rick, you bring up, because I was amazed. And Peanut Gallery and I were listening at certain points of the day. Not a lot of them, but I actually thought it was thunder a couple times because we had not seen or heard thunder or lightning during the last 2 days. I thought I heard it, and it was actually planes. There were a couple of planes that, at least at RSW here in Fort Myers, I'm sure Naples had no flights coming in. And I'm pretty sure Punta Gorda didn't either, or if they did early. It was so weird yesterday and Saturday because Saturday started off, and you knew it was coming. It was sunshine, and I mean, in the blink of an eye, whoosh, skies turned dark and gray, boom, and it just started to come down. And just funky looking sky. The tornado warnings were out, and you pray for the best. Incredibly, for us, at least at my house, we didn't even get a power blink on Saturday or Sunday. If we did, it was a minor one on Saturday for a second. And we did not lose power, thank goodness. But that is not the case for many people down here in Southwest Florida, on Fort Myers Beach, on Cape Coral, um, uh, San Carlos Boulevard, I know, which is not that far from here where I am, about 5-10 minutes tops. They had massive flooding. They had power outages. And of course, if you live anywhere in the state or probably anywhere around the country on the whole, you get storms or situations like this. If you live near a hospital or an emergency room or any type of medical center, you usually get a little bit lucky because they get the power back first a lot of the time. So, anywho, I'm really near the airport. I'm looking at advisories right now. I'm looking. Uh, the storm's just sort of leaving Tampa. Still a lot of residual cells in the Tampa area. Jeez, I mean, this is a big mofo of for a Cat 1. This is a big bitch. Let me tell you. And the eye is right around. It's Cross City right now, up in the Panhandle. So Gainesville and Tallahassee and everybody up there, you are getting pounded right now. Just everybody stay safe. And then it's going to move on up into the Carolinas as well by looks like by the middle or end of the day. Rick says Skyway Bridge is still closed due to high winds at this time. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Rick. Thank you for the update. Like I said, I'm on Ion TB. And as far as the Skyway Bridge goes, they have not updated that for a while. But this 18-wheeler, here it is. The 18-wheeler into the Tampa Bypass Canal is still shut down I-75. This was 38 minutes ago. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I wish I could show you the video, but I can't. But you can go to our friends at intb.com and check that out. Just all up in the Tampa area. There's just flooding, and obviously It's just everybody stays safe. I don't need me to tell you this. We had. It always amazes me sometimes the level of stupid that comes out in situations like this. I'm not going to mention names or what webpage I saw this, but it was in a community. Might have even been this one. I don't even know. Or somebody in Gateway around here puts out a thing yesterday on the Facebook page, like, and actually was serious about it, about how the airports could be closed for 6 hours, flights delayed for 6 hours, and he didn't know why. What is wrong with people? Some of you didn't know why. You have to be a fucking moron times 10 to the millionth power to be that stupid and naive to not know what the hell is going on. You really do. And this guy was not, an older gentleman or older lady. I'm not even sure it was a man or a woman who put it out there. This was someone who was a sane person who wanted to know why flights were being delayed at Fort Myers. What the hell are you smoking, drinking, or whatever? I mean, you just look like a fucking idiot. It's just ridiculous. Why is it closed? Didn't you get the tornado alerts? Didn't you see? Have you watched any local news? You haven't heard about tropical storm, now Hurricane Debbie, for the last 4 or 5 days, and then it strikes, and you're so stupid you don't know that flights are canceled? God almighty. Hello, McFly. Anybody home? It's just idiots. Absolute idiots. And that's my little soapbox rant for the day. Anyway, if you guys hear or see anything, and again, I'm sorry, on my Twitter page, on the Coastal Sports Network Twitter page, everything is fine on all the other outlets as far as hearing the show. It's just for some reason, and I don't know why, not Facebook, but YouTube, not YouTube either. Twitter took away my blue check mark again. It said it's under, I get this notification. Your account will be reviewed for a blue check mark soon. I don't understand that. I have the premium pack. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. So, anywho, Olympic update. Yeah, saw the men's basketball team of the weekend beat beat Puerto Rico by 21. La di da. It's hard for me to get into the world of sports right now because of what is happening around the state of Florida. I just want everybody to be safe. Rick says, I can say I'm enjoying the temperature we are experiencing. Yeah, the temperature's a bit cooler, although this morning, having coffee out on the back lanai, it was still pretty stuffy, but then we came in and it started to rain. Yes, it has cooled off. The breeze is refreshing, but nevertheless, the gusts have been 60 miles an hour plus in some reason. Places have gotten in Southwest Florida anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain total, depending on where you are. It's in the last 48 to 72 hours. That's a huge amount of water in a very short period of time, obviously. So all I can say is everybody, stay as safe as possible. And again, I'm still looking around. Who's this? I'm looking at Tim Ronca, morning traffic anchor and reporter for Spectrum Bay News 9 in Tampa right now. And let's see. He has 19 minutes ago, road updates as of 7 a.m. I-75 southbound is closed at Fowler Avenue. Howard Franklin Bridge northbound at the Tampa is closed. Into St. Pete is open. Skyway Bridge is closed, as our buddy Rick just told us. And he's tracking the commute live as well. So let's see. An hour ago, got some new pictures from the Hillsborough County Fire and Rescue. The 18-wheeler that went over I-75 and into the Tampa Bypass Canal. And as I said, I-75 southbound remains closed at Fowler Avenue. Rescue operations are underway. What an absolute mess. Now I would imagine there wouldn't be a lot of traffic out anyway today, right? School doesn't start until next week, I believe, down here in Southwest Florida. Not sure in Tampa, but I know most schools wouldn't have been open today anyway. And it was interesting here in Lee County. where I live in Southwest Florida, which covers Fort Myers, Estero, Bonita, Cape Coral, uh, and other communities around Lee County, you are allowed to go to any high school you want. Sometimes it's based on sports, and down here that football and basketball and baseball are huge. A lot of Division I athletes go to all these schools around here, so sometimes. But you can have a kid from, where I live in Fort Myers, want to go to Cape Coral and vice versa. So a lot of school systems around the country don't get that choice, but it makes it sometimes a little more confusing here. And obviously, commute wise, can be very, very difficult depending on where you want to go. Not everybody goes to their school that's right down the street around here. Like I said, a lot of it, whether you like it or not, is based on sports, or who has a better football program or baseball program or whatever. And I'm looking at another. There's now a tropical storm watch for inland Charlotte, and flood warning in DeSoto County as well, which is what we expected. And so everybody in Charlotte County here and all of Lee County, Northport, I hope everybody is safe, and just stay off the roads today. Just stay off the roads. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. I can find my mouse, and then regroup and come back and do a quick wrap up here, or a quick update, and then that'll be it. We've had Rick Horrell, who I spoke with in France yesterday, has been doing an unbelievable job, and we'll keep providing these Olympic minute updates from him. He'll be back from France on Wednesday. Again, I can't do anything. It's out of my hands, kids, about playing videos and sound. I can't do it without Angel being here, and he is unable to come on today due to the storm, due to the hurricane, Debbie. Ironically, his wife's name is Debbie, his newly lovely wife of a few months now. But I think she's an IE Debbie, not a Y Debbie. This is Hurricane Debbie, and it is a huge son of a gun, man. It did not, and because the Gulf waters, as most of you know, are anywhere from right now 88 to 90 degrees. It just strengthens these storms, are capable of strengthening, and that's why even when they hit land, here's a meteorologist. I'm just going by. It means that's why when they hit land, they still have a lot of power. So everybody in the Panhandle, if you're listening, I know we have friends all over the country and a lot of friends all through the state of Florida. Just be careful. Rick says this is the time of year that even another system is out there forming. Yeah, and the reason why is because the water is so warm, and as it approaches the Gulf, we see it gets past Cuba and around the Keys, and it just strengthens the water here in the ocean. A lot of the oceans around here in Southwest Florida, it's like bath water. You have to go out quite a ways to get cool. Not quite a ways, but a good, 100, 200 yards sometimes to actually feel refreshed, because the water is 88, 90 degrees. And then I caution everybody again also about going into your local pool, not only the pool at your house, but the community pools. Make sure, even if there's a little blip and there's some sun and everything else, and you want to get out into a pool and get refreshed for a few minutes, whatever, I would make sure the signs say it's open, first of all, or two, check with somebody in your local community who is involved, and make sure that the pool is properly chlorinated and everywhere. Because you get this much rain, 4 or 5 inches of rain, you can't just jump into a community pool. There's lots of bacteria, even if you can't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be brown water or anything like that, but you got to be really careful when you go into these public pools. Because a lot of us have them here in gated communities here in Southwest Florida. Even if it's your own pool, it's probably easier. If it's your own pool, you know what to do. You're taking care of it. You're measuring all that stuff before you know how much chlorine needs to be in. But when you get the amount of rain that we've gotten down here in Southwest Florida, you got to be extra careful. So, anywho, I see that Costco was out of water, at least around here, for the last couple of days, which is understandable. Like I said, we were incredibly lucky here. Peanut Gallery and I were incredibly lucky here in our part of Fort Myers in Southwest Florida. We didn't lose power, and we got some heavy rain and some wind gusts at time, but nothing. And tornado watches. I mean, it looked ominous. It looked really, really scary at times, particularly yesterday. It really did. So much so, I have a recliner looking at my big 70-inch TV. And it's near the back lanai sliding glass door. But even I, yesterday, for a good 2 hours, got up, stayed in the middle of the room because it was blackish green that, that it just it looked like at any moment with the tornado warnings going off that we actually might see one, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. But thankfully, we did not. I know it was more in Collier County yesterday, the Naples, Marco area, that they had tons of tornado warnings and watches, it seemed, all day. Some of them only lasted 10 minutes, but nevertheless, I mean, you got to take care. You got to have precautions. And some of the videos that were sent in just from footage were just amazing by a lot of the just local residents of the area sent to the local news stations. Amazing. Okay, so 7 a.m. advisory. Winds are at 80 miles an hour right now, gusts to 100 for Hurricane Debbie. And it is hitting right now the Panhandle pretty severely. And then other parts of Gainesville and Tallahassee really going to get it up that way. I'm just watching, Panama City area. But right now, I know Jacksonville. Yeah, Jacksonville's really, they're getting whacked right now, as is Tallahassee. That whole area. The thing is huge. It's a big, big hurricane for a Cat 1. And it doesn't seem to be dissipating. That's the thing. And even though a lot of it is on land right now, and it's so big, it's covering the whole state, basically. There are still big cells all the way down to Port Charlotte. Right now we're okay. There's some small cells in Naples and Bonita and here in Fort Myers, but some residuals that are going to hit Port Charlotte. The tail on this thing is unbelievable. So everybody, even down to Marco Island, they're still under a flood warning. Lee, Charlotte, DeSoto, all under flood warnings, and Sarasota as well is under a watch. So, all right, going to take a quick break. When we come back, and I will wrap things up for you here. Fortunately, a short show today because of the weather, and Angel Martinez cannot be with us. My guests, Ernie DiGregorio and John Serenides, going to push back. Hopefully, they can both join me tomorrow because I cannot punch them up or any other sound or any of that stuff. I'm lucky I even got on today, to be honest with you. But I'm glad you joined me, at least for a little bit. Quick break. We'll come back, and I'll have more updates for you.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one,
You give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Pete Shepherd Show.
There we go. I'm lucky I did that. Welcome back to the Pete Shepherd Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. I am Pete. I'm here solo today, just updating you on what's going on. I'm going to have a short show here just for a few more minutes because Angel Martinez doesn't have any Wi-Fi and power flickering up in Tampa after Hurricane Debbie got there later than here down in Southwest Florida. We are still trying to get things somewhat back to normal. There was flooding all over the place. I just saw some locally around here in Cape Coral. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I have some friends that have already checked in. Their yard is an absolute mess. The canals, obviously. And I've seen some of the roads, and I don't know, the Edison Bridge, Midway Bridge, I don't know how people are going to get over it or if you even can get over it. I know Governor DeSantis is speaking right now. I wish I could play it for you, but I can't. But still, the state is under a state of emergency. Rick says flights at the Tampa airport are averaging delays from 1 to 2 hours and could be extended as a sail of rain comes through Tampa now. Yeah, exactly. There's all these lingering cells. Call your carrier before leaving home. Yes, I agree. And like I said, the Skyway Bridge up there is closed. And there is a I-75 southbound closed at Fowler Avenue. An 18-wheeler went into the Tampa Bypass Canal a couple hours ago today, and they are still at this time working on it. So, again, thanks, everybody. You can't, for some reason, I don't know why, Twitter took away my blue check mark saying that it's being evaluated. And I guess back to, I have no reason. I don't know why. But again, thanks for following us here on the Coastal Sports Network video platform, on Facebook, on Twitter X. All the other Twitter X places are available on, SR1029 The Game, SR1029thegame.com, CSN Florida. You can follow us on all those Twitter accounts: Rumble, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. So, again, the Hurricane Debbie is now impacting up the northern part of the state of Florida, up at the Panhandle, Jacksonville, Gainesville, Tallahassee. They're all feeling it, but the residual effects down here are still huge. There's still cells, even in Naples, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Estero. It's going to be that way for the rest of the day, or not for the whole day, but down here for a good chunk of it. But Tampa North, you're still going to be under flood watches and flood warnings and tornado warnings in some spots for the rest of the day. Just monitor everything, and just stay safe. Just don't do anything stupid, and it's not worth. I know a lot of you want to take videos and all that stuff. Oh, Rick said, oh, thanks, Rick. If power goes out, let me see, can I show this on the bottom of the screen? Yeah. If power goes out for you, there is a website called, my glasses now, I can't. There's a website called the TVAP, which is THETVAPP.com, to see lots of free TV. Okay. Okay. What we need, more free TV. Yeah, but at least if you can monitor your local news, that's fine. All right, everybody. I want everybody to stay safe. Again, I apologize today. I apologize to Ernie Gregorio and John Serenides. We will hopefully have them back on tomorrow here on the Pete Shepard Show. What else we got? It says there's more comments up there, but there aren't. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rick, for checking in. Hopefully, Angel Martinez and company will be safe. Rick says be safe down there. Yes, you be safe. You too, Rick, as well. So, again, we'll try to have Ernie D and John Serenides on tomorrow on the Pete Shepard Show. We'll have a full show, hopefully, as long as Angel has his power back and everything else. So, want to thank everybody for checking us out. And just stay safe, everybody, okay? I'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. right here on the Coastal Sports Network. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.